where is a place to start in changing the math with the return
Sure.
logistics? Because it feels like, you could start with the conversations that you were talking about a moment ago, where the reverse logistics team meets with merchants, but incorporating that into, say, an algorithmic sort of your e-commerce website is challenging. Changing, maybe actually implementing what you're talking about with this decision tree is challenging. Where have you recommended that retailers start when you've spoken with them in the
Sure.
past?
Sure. Well, before we would start, I think one thing needs to be true in an organization, especially with retailers, is there needs to be a stated desire to do something with managing returns end to end, not just only when we got the return item, right? Going back to my merchandising example, but there needs to be that initiative and drive to want to be able to do something on a holistic level. And frankly, where I would start, and this is where we started with other clients, is start with a workshop where you bring all of the stakeholders involved, merchandising, the commercial folks, data and analytics, the reverse logistics functions, and so forth, and start to brainstorm what can be possible, what can we change, and what value can this bring to the organization. But the one thing that I would certainly emphasize is if you try to address this in a functional silo, it's likely not going to change. Right? Just like the example I gave you with logistics meeting with merchandising, right? So in that case, the head of reverse logistics has to have a seat at the table with the chief merchant where they both are aligned that, yes, this is an important initiative, and I need to make sure that my merchants are bringing the reverse logistics, the returns aspect as an attribute when they're looking at their category strategy.
Yeah, like so many other things in solving problems today, it
Yeah.
feels like it requires cross-functional collaboration no matter what, because you can't just work in a silo. I think that's a great point. I think that's all the time we have for today, but this is an awesome conversation, Dan, and I think we got a lot of ways that we can help retailers with reverse logistics.
Always fun talking to you, Brian.